Alrighty, so my second agency update. So this is everything that's been happening within my agency. I do these every month. The reason I do these is just to give myself something to look back on in the future years, and then also just kind of give you guys some insight into what I'm going through and potentially learn some stuff from that. Now, the update, February 2023, things are not good. It's not been a very good month. I'll quickly go through the numbers. I'll just bring them up on my computer here. But overall, not very pleased with how things have transpired, especially considering the previous month I did really well in January and things just kind of fell off a cliff. This month I made a loss of about $3,000 within my agency. Now the big reasons for that are staff costs. I have a few subcontractors that I had to pay. I have gradually reduced those costs where I can. And then we're also doing a pretty major web update. So those are some pretty large expenses that we had to factor into the business that have caused that loss to really be incurred. But also, I was under the impression that I was going to be signing 3 new clients in the month of Feb, and we had invoices out for 2 of them, which would have gotten the ball rolling on everything. However, unfortunately, the invoices just haven't been paid yet, and I'm still chasing those down. And it's an interesting lesson, right? Because no client is a client until they pay. And I kind of already knew that, but I thought I had it in the bag. You get that confidence. You're like, oh my God, I just signed them. They said, yes, we're ready. Contract's over. Let's go. Get everything set up. And then for some reason they stall. And I think that's probably a lesson for me to be perhaps more aggressive in the final call close where I send them a payment link and perhaps get them to pay right there and then. But I'm just not comfortable doing that. And maybe I'm a little sissy, but that's something I've got to learn perhaps to get more comfortable with. Now, other things that have kind of happened within my business, doing a lot of in-person networking. And like I was saying in my previous update, the in-person networking I think will generate results way down the road. At the moment, it's just laying some foundations. So I went to 5 different networking events in the month of Feb. Once again, that's the B&I networking event, as well as some other ones. You can look it up. There's probably a chapter within your area spelt BNI, and it's just a local business networking group. Local because they're local chapters, but it's national and international because there's chapters all over the world. Super useful, recommend jumping into that. And that has generated me a bit of work in the past, and that is also one of the clients that I've just signed up in Feb that I'm kind of chasing down the payment from. Also, I have one client that is still outstanding when it comes to payment, and it's a relatively big chunk of money. And I have not started any new work yet until that payment is made, but that's also a reason that the month of Feb was not that good. Now, developments that have happened in my business outside of the clients and stuff like that. Like I said, I've got the website built up. I've also really been ironing out my systems and processes. I have a Monday.com subscription, which really allows me to curate everything in one central place. I've got my lead board set up, and I have a really intense process for managing those leads. And basically within Monday.com, I have my leads all laid out. I have dates associated with each of those leads. And every time I follow them up, I extend the deadline for that event by 3-4 days. And then when that deadline hits, I get notified and I follow up again until I either consider them closed or they respond with saying, hey, we're interested, or unfortunately not interested. Still doing my classic lead gen, the video outreach. I've decided to pivot a little bit in terms of the niche. This is something that I learned this month as well. I think in the agency space, it's really important to niche down. And when I first started, I thought that saying I was an email marketing agency and that was it. In the e-commerce space, saying email marketing, I thought that was a niche enough within the marketing space, but I don't think it is. I think I need to niche down even more into a certain industry, and I'm thinking food and beverage. I think I want to be an email marketer for the food and beverage industry because I've generated some good results for another client of mine. However, I need to develop a case study based on that client, and what I need to do is I need to fully manage their email marketing from end to end to then be able to say we did all of these improvements. Because right now with email marketing, you can kind of jump in from a campaign perspective, you can jump in from a flow perspective. I want to jump in from an entire account perspective, blow their numbers up revenue-wise, use that as a case study, and then bring that case study to other potential food and beverage leads that I can then convert into clients. So that's something I'm going to be focusing on over the next month, is really kind of niching down a little bit more. I kind of knew that at the start, but my first gut instinct was, don't niche down because then you're closing the door to other potential clients. But the reality is, not niching down is actually closing the door to other clients as well, because they don't see you as a subject matter expert in their field. And it also allows you to contact a more narrow window of people. And if you think about it, right, if you're a pie maker, you make pies, right, and you have two agencies come to you, exact same price, exact same offering, except one says we specialize in marketing pies and the other one says we specialize in marketing, who are you more likely to go to? And so that's kind of the approach that I need to take right there. Yeah, so guys, going to be fully honest, February was not a very good month. Like I said, I think I made a loss of about $3,000 roughly, New Zealand dollars, and I only made, revenue-wise, about 2.5K. So my expenses were actually significantly higher than that $3,000, but fortunately that 2.5K that I took in helped offset some of that. So listen, I think Gavin, future Gavin, when you're looking at this in about 6 months' time and you're driving the Lambo, just, remember, February sucked, and you've come a long way. Awesome. Yeah, there you go, Gavin. Hope that helped. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please shoot me a message. If you need some help with your email marketing, I am the guy. And I have a bit of capacity at the moment, believe it or not. But yeah, listen, I hope you found this useful. Trying to be as honest as possible with how everything is. If you're interested in seeing more, subscribe. If you want to follow me on Instagram, give me a follow. LinkedIn as well, should be in the description. And yeah.